What's up, y'all? It's Timmy, and today I'm going to be doing a 2-year review on the truck house back here and just let you know how it's held up over the last 2 years and what I would change and what I love. So let's get to it. Welcome to Truck House Lap, baby. I'd like to welcome you guys to the channel if you haven't been here before. If you have, thank you for coming back and watching videos. If you want to go ahead and smash the like button down there and subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell, that way you know when my videos come out, then you'll get to see more content with the truck house back here and more adventures that I'll take you on every week. I always do 1 video a week, sometimes 2, so I'd love to have you come back and check them out and go on some adventures with me. So behind me here, for those of you guys that don't know what it is, it's a 1996 Ford F350 Power Stroke diesel. It's got the 7.3 engine, awesome bomb proof. It's been super good to me over the last 3 years. And I built this truck camper 2 years ago to fit in the original bed of the Ford F350. Last year I built a flatbed, that way I'd have more storage opportunities, and also so I could carry 2 snow machines on the back of the pickup truck instead of just 1 in the bed. So let's just get right into it. How has the camper held up over the last 2 years? I'm sure a lot of you guys are curious. I had a lot of naysayers in the beginning saying the metal roof was gonna rip off and things are gonna shake loose or is gonna get really rotted or start leaking and all this stuff. So let's go check it out and I'll show you in person how it's held up. So as some of you guys know, if you look back at my build video, you'll know that I did use Captain's Varnish, which is basically a varnish, a gel coating that goes on wood. Same stuff they use in sailboats, and it works awesome. Keeps everything super waterproof, or as waterproof as wood can get. And I've done 4 coats the first year and 4 coats the second year. So I try to treat it every summer and revarnish it every summer just to make sure it stays nice and dry and waterproof. It's holding up really awesome. You can literally see the water beating up off of it. So it's pretty legit, and yeah, I haven't had any issues with rot of the wood or anything like that. It's just stayed nice and sealed. And you guys might notice a little bit of staining in the wood just from road grime and all that kind of stuff. So it might look moldy, but it's not. The dirtiest area of the camper happens to be like this front part that just catches a bunch of grime and stuff from the tires. And you can tell that looks dirtier, but it's just dirt, it's not rot, so it's been holding up really well. And that's about the only place the water really hits in the highway, all in there. It stayed completely waterproof inside. I haven't had the first leak, which is awesome. And yeah, that's just really encouraging. I think it's not leaking, so it's just gonna last a long time. If you guys look up under the roof metal up there, you can see the Grace Ice and Water Shield. That is what I use to just really make the roof waterproof. Even though it has a metal roof, it's got another layer of protection there. That's held up really awesome. Has not had any leaks at all. Also, I think another reason that the roof has not leaked at all is it's a pitched roof. So I've got about somewhere around a 512 to 612 pitch in the roof. So any water or rain that hits it just runs right off. It doesn't puddle up. A lot of times you'll see like RVs that have flat roofs, and that water on top of a flat roof will eventually just start soaking through the roof once the rubber membrane dies down. So I really do feel that the pitched roof has helped keep it really waterproof. And obviously having a metal roof in and of itself is just going to dissipate the water that much faster than shingles or something else that I could have done up there. These stairs have taken an absolute beating. I use them all the time, even if I have to run up into the camper for 20 seconds to grab something. Just unclip a couple of those hooks, drop them down, and yeah, walk right on up, right on down. When you go to put them away, hold them up super fast and you're on your way. I did leave them down one time and backed up and just destroyed them. I just crumpled them all up, and I just had to buy 2 new boards, and other than that, they've held up really awesome. I designed those myself, and feel like I actually did something right for the first time. They work great. For the construction of the camper, I did use 2.5-inch screws. They have held up really awesome. I didn't do glue anywhere. I did just 2.5-inch screws and big industrial staples that are about 1.5 inches long to back up the screws. You guys have seen what I've been doing in my videos of this thing. I've been absolutely rallying this camper, and it has held up awesome. I couldn't have gotten luckier with how well it holds up, even on those off-road trails in Moab. If you guys look back at my videos, you'll see me getting tires in the air and just rallying this thing, and it's held up great. The screws have not backed out anywhere. Nothing's become separated. Nothing's pulling apart. She's just solid. And as some of you guys know, I got these boxes. I custom ordered these from Highway Products, which is probably one of the best box manufacturers for highway and truck boxes in the world. They're just made fantastic quality. They've been really awesome for storage. I really like how when I removed the truck bed and put this flatbed on, I gained all the storage space. It just added so much space. I put my camper jacks, generators, firewood, wet paddling gear, tools, tire chains, like all that stuff fits in here. It's been really useful, really big advantage of having that flatbed, having all that extra storage. A lot of people ask me if I would rebuild the camper to where the walls just come straight down. That way I have all this extra storage space inside the camper. But honestly, I wouldn't change a thing. I would just leave the camper designed to fit into a normal truck bed and add storage boxes, because it's just nice to have an outside storage space for gear, for all the stuff that I do and tools and things like that. It's just more useful to me than having some extra storage inside for clothes and stuff like that. And up in front of the truck here, I had a custom bumper made by Midnight Sun Metalworks in Wasilla, Alaska. He whipped it up for me because I can't aluminum weld that good. A little better with steel, but even that I'm horrible. That's been really awesome. I've had to use this winch more times than I can count on my hands to get myself unstuck and other people unstuck. So it's been really nice having that bumper. It's been super solid. They're covered in snow right now, but KC Highlights sent me these two Pro 6 highlights, and they are freaking crazy bright, crazy awesome. I've always bought KC Apollo lights to put on all my vehicles. Those are awesome, but these new LED ones are insane, the light they put out. So I also went ahead and upgraded the stock headlights to some Spider aftermarket headlights. That made a huge difference in being able to see, so pretty stoked in those, even though they're freaking pain to install. And up top you guys can see the rocket box and where I store my kayaks and bikes and all that stuff, so plenty of storage space. Solar panel still rallying up top, the little 100-watt solar panel still doing its job. You guys might have noticed that I put a set of general grabbers on. These things probably have about 25,000 miles at this point. I'd say they're about 50% wear, maybe a little beyond. They were awesome in the lower 48, and in the summertime up here, they're a little bit sketchy in ice and snow. I figured because every lug is siped, with at least one sipe, that it'd be decent, but I'm gonna get a set of all terrains for next year for sure. But really awesome tires. I've really enjoyed them. Just have to be a little more careful in the snow and ice. And for a 10,000-pound truck and camper setup, they've held up pretty darn well. They've been holding that weight pretty well. So when I installed this flatbed on here, I knew I was gonna have to find a new way to really lock the camper in so it's not sliding around, moving everywhere, because I no longer had truck bed walls to hold the camper in place. So I bought these, just these Torx jacks right here, and they have been freaking incredible. Like even on all the off-road trails and just rallying this thing, the camper literally doesn't move an inch. So that's due to the fact that I've got it cranked down nice and tight, 4 of these, and I also have a 1/4-inch thick rubber mat, like a horse mat, that's under the camper. And that combination, like I'm telling you, it like really did the job well. So I've been really happy with how these have held the camper in place. One thing I would really like to figure out and change in the future is the jack mount system for the jacks that lift the camper up so I can drive out from under it, so I can unload and load the camper. I've unloaded and loaded this truck house probably 6 or 7 times, and it's freaking terrifying every time. Right now I just have a couple jacks that just bolt up to here really quick, and they're not tall enough to reach the ground because the truck's so lifted, so I have to stack things under them and do weird stuff like that. But yeah, really sketchy system. Don't like it too much. And they're manual jacks, so I have to walk around the camper and crank this one maybe an inch or 2, then go crank that one an inch or 2, and it takes 30 minutes to lift it like that. So in the future, what I'd like to do is get 4 electric jacks. That way I can press one button and it lifts everything at the same time. That way the weight's not shifting around and trying to make the house fall over. So that's an upgrade I need to do in the future. And one of the things I was most impressed by is the metal roof, because I had several people that said there's no way that metal roof's staying on there. When you get out on the highway, the wind was gonna peel it off. I've had this truck up to 80 miles an hour and driving through crazy windstorms and stuff, and that metal roof has held up perfect. I haven't had a screw so much as try to back out anywhere. I've checked them several times. They're still all tight. I'm stoked in the metal roof. When I put the metal roof on the camper, I put the screws about 6 inches apart on there, the metal roofing screws. Most people put them about 2 feet apart on a standard metal roof for a house. So I figured that would be enough to hold it, and totally is. So what's next? What's the next project that I'm gonna be doing to this thing? Well, let's get into it. One of my next purchases for the truck are going to be putting 37-inch to 40-inch tires on it. The 37-inch tires I originally wanted, I ordered them almost a year and a half ago. I never got them because COVID just stopped the production of them. So eventually I want to get the tires that are supposed to be on here, 37s or up to 40s on there. And also want to buy some winter tires or some at least all-terrain all season. That way I don't have to rally these mud tires around in the snow. Luckily the weight of this camper and the truck itself gives this truck incredible traction. But I really want to do some ARB air lockers for the front axle and the rear axle. Just so I have more traction, and if I get a wheel off the ground like I've had a couple times, the truck will keep kind of pushing through it and I don't lose all my traction. So that's going to be an upgrade that I'll do to it in the near future here. And I don't know if you guys can see them under here, but these are the original Skyjacker shocks in this truck. They're literally 20 years old, so I definitely want to get new shocks in this next year. I'm probably going to put a pair of Fox 2.0 shocks on because they make those for this truck. So that'll be an upgrade I'll be doing in the near future here. Putting the Fox shocks in the truck will just really improve the ride and just kind of help suspend the camper a little bit better. To keep it from shaking apart. Another project I want to do is put some spotlights on the outside of the truck so I can actually like see when I'm backing up or see trees when I'm backing into them, see the trailer when I'm backing up to it, because I don't know, it's dark in Alaska like half the year basically. It'd be nice to have a little bit better light. I did install these porch lights up there, so that's just a really nice illumination when you're in the camper, but I want to wire it up to the truck where I can hit a switch and just turn on a big spotlight outside and wire that from up inside the camper also. And finally, I've got a really big project I'm going to be doing this coming summer with my dad, and I can't give that away just yet, but stay tuned for it. It's going to be a pretty sweet one. So let's get into what I would change about the truck house really quick if I were to build everything over and start from scratch again. Let's go take a step inside the camper really quick and just show you guys kind of some things that I would change inside the camper. Let's do a brief tour of the camper really quick so you guys can just kind of see what's going on. You've got a 3-range burner and oven right there, diesel heater down below it. I've got a fridge freezer right there that slides out. 2 6-foot couches on either side. They both turn into a bed, and that makes it pretty cozy. On the right side, you got a Kimberly wood stove. So that's my main source of heat and also my backup heat when I'm not using it. Down here you've got the porta potty, so that slides out. You can use the bathroom and dump it in any gas station. Trash down there and toilet paper. The entire floor right there lifts up, and there's storage for all my food under there. I also have storage under this couch for food and clothing, pots, pans, and under this couch for bedding. A little bit of extra firewood storage down here. Some storage for some stuff up there. Here's the old shotgun for self-defense. A TV and DVD player right there. Instruments I can mess around when I need to. Up here we have a hand pump faucet, so that's how I get my water. Just crank right there, and the water comes from a 7-gallon water jug, so I can just take that out, fill it up real easy, bring it back in. There's no pipes to freeze, none of that mess. Up here's my control panel, so I got the diesel heater, battery level, and my lights right there for the front porch. So those turn on at night to light everything up. And up here we have a max air fan, so that vents out the condensation when I'm cooking or just when it's all condensate-y in here. And right there we got my old iconic license plate from the old Toyota camper I full-timed in 6 years. The old beast, still out there on the road. Out on the porch I've got my little temperature gauge just so I can kind of see how the weather's doing and have all these hooks to dry paddling gear on. And on this side I got myself a little whiskey bottle bird feeder, which is kind of a bad idea because the birds will fly up there every now and then when I'm parked somewhere for a while and crap on my chair in the porch. And obviously it's pretty nice to have a porch, especially if it's raining outside and I just want to sit outside and sit out of the rain or dry my paddling gear out when it's raining. Works really well for that. So let's take a step back inside and just tell you some things I would change in here. In all honesty, I really would not change too much about this camper. If I was building it all over again, I would spray foam the floor. The floor I just have insulated with fiberglass insulation, and it's well insulated, but it could be better. If I would have spray foamed it, the floor would have just been warmer. The walls of the camper and the roof have all been spray foamed, so that's airtight. but the floor just gets a little bit cooler than it should, so maybe I'll go back and do that at some point. So that's one thing I'd change. Another thing I would change for sure is the heater I put in here. Originally I put in a propane heater and it sucked. It had problems. It was a pain, and I got rid of that and installed a Webasto diesel heater, and that has been awesome. Totally flawless and just super legit. So if I built it again, I would make sure to put that diesel heater in first thing instead of the propane heater. The Webasto diesel heater just sips on diesel and doesn't use any battery power hardly, and just way more efficient than the propane in my opinion. And the final thing I would do is my wood stove. These tiles that I put under it, they have taken a beating. They're not really strong enough for camper life and four-wheeling. You can tell they've cracked right there, so I need to take these tiles out and put some new ones in. So I would just install like a thicker tile so that doesn't happen. So that's the last thing I would change in the inside. Other than those few things inside, I wouldn't change anything. Yeah, I've just been super happy with it, and it's held up pretty well. So those are my thoughts. Well, that's a wrap, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video here. I just wanted to let you guys know how the camper has been holding up, how the truck's been holding up, and yeah, that's the 2-year update. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to smash that like button down there and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of my content. And we'll see you again next time. Peace, y'all.